Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle once and for all.
Best peanut butter sandwich.
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcast should have a theme song. Podcast should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
Best peanut butter sandwich.
Best peanut butter sandwich.
Is yours a scamp?
Yeah, mine was a delightful scamp. Could you not tell it was a delightful scamp?
That was delightful. That was very delightful.
Well, Hal, it has been tasked to us once again to craft the perfect sandwich. Are you up for this challenge, my friend?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if that was reluctant or straight up James Cagney. Yeah.
I know well, it's both. I just think about, I know I've talked about this before. I'm sure I have. When I think about putting peanut butter on a piece of bread, thank you, Paul Paiva, for suggesting this.
Amen.
Because
it's a great topic.
Immediately thought of one of my favorite snacks of all time, which is the heel of a loaf of bread loaded with what even the Planters peanut would say is an obscene amount of peanut butter, and then a glass of orange juice or lemonade, something acidic to have with it.
Okay.
Because it cuts the clogginess of peanut butter. You know, when you eat
That's
it.
That's the thing, like too much peanut butter is going to clog up. If you put if you're using the heel of the bread and peanut butter,
I don't go to the bathroom for a week. Yeah.
Holy moly. So you like a big old glop of peanut butter on there?
I do. Now that I'm calorie conscious, now that I'm still in the process of losing weight, it's still happening. We're in it now. I use less peanut butter and it's fine, but there's definitely a time where I could use a quarter of the jar.
Well, then it sounds like you may not be. I'm glad I am here to temper your peanut butter tendencies if we are going to make the best peanut butter sandwich, because my brother, I love you. The best peanut butter sandwich does not have a third of a jar of peanut butter in it.
Oh, look, the proportion, I don't care about the proportion. When I hear this, I'm like, all right, we got different choices. The bread to me is practically irrelevant. We could talk about it at the end as an add-on, but it's like the different types of peanut butter sandwiches there are, right? And what is the best one?
If we're creating the best peanut butter sandwich, I look at this. Yes, we've got to look at all of the different possible combinations of a peanut butter sandwich. We also have to look at what would be considered a peanut butter sandwich where the peanut butter is the star of the sandwich, because there are sandwiches where peanut butter is a condiment on that sandwich, but that does not make it a peanut butter sandwich.
Like what?
Specifically pulled pork. It's really popular to put a layer of peanut butter on hot pulled pork because then the peanut butter melts down and gets in the cracks. But I don't think that's a peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah, first of all, please don't do that, anybody. But second of all,
it's actually really good.
Yeah, that is not that's like a peanut butter that's like a gimmick. Like a car salesman.
Well, it's peanut butter not being used.
Peanut butter on pulled pork this week only. Come on down and check out the all new Chevy Bolt EUV. And while you're at it, during your test drive, we're going to slather some melted peanut butter all over barbecue sauce laden pork. And don't forget that coleslaw on a toasted bun and crinkle cut fries with too much paprika on them. Come on down.
Man, I want more restaurants to do crossovers with auto dealerships just so I can get that decal on the back of my car that says, thanks, I got it at Claim Jumper Ford.
A plate the size of your tombstone loaded with salad, potatoes, and meat. Come on down to Claim Jumper it's so much food.
It's so dumb. Jumper. It's so delightfully dumb.
Their frozen meals come in like refrigerator boxes. It's so much food. I went to a Claim Jumper once at the height of eating a lot of food years and years and years ago.
Sure.
I think I stopped for lunch, or I met a friend for lunch. I was going to visit his office and we met for lunch.
Is he a carny? Is his office the carnival?
His office is in the big top.
It's the tilt-a-whirl.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, dude.
There's vomit there. Don't step. Oh no, there's vomit over there too. Don't step. Be careful when you're stepping over there. We have to walk
just
around
sticky.
Like your Michael Jackson in the Billie Jean video. You can only step on the squares with no vomit. But Claim Jumper, I went to this Claim Jumper and the sizes of the plate alone, I was like, there is nobody outside of Joey Chestnut and Kobayashi and the lot of them, whatever her name is. Kira eats kilos or Katie eats kilos.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
there's a whole world of people who go and do these eating challenges around the country, competitive eaters, but it's too much food. They would probably put peanut butter on everything too. I'm in a wavelength with you. I'm thinking like PBJ, Fluffernutter, peanut butter, jelly bacon, like stuff like that. That's where we're in the same realm.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad we've reached that because first of all, the claim jumper. I just want to talk about claim jumper plate size.
Go ahead.
I literally the plate that spaghetti at Claim Jumper comes on could be used to hold a Thanksgiving turkey. It is a platter. Like it is an oblong platter. It blows my mind, that place. And now all I want to do in the world, you know where I'm going with this, is go eat at Claim Jumper right now.
I know. I kind of want to go to Claim Jumper too.
But we can't go to Claim Jumper, Hal. We got to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich first. I'm sorry. We got to make a slip of the tongue. We got to make a peanut butter sandwich first. We got to make the perfect peanut butter sandwich first.
Sure. And then we can have a surfboard with meatloaf on it.
Then we can have a surfboard with meatloaf on it.
Great. All right.
Yeah. Good. And, it's too soon.
What?
I was going to make a joke about him holding a platter from Claim Jumper, but Meatloaf died. Perhaps from Claim Jumper food.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
He was
Meatloaf.
actually buried in a Claim Jumper plate. It held his body. He was interred in a plate. Look, R.I.P. We miss you.
R.I.P. Yeah. Also, but its funeral came with a free salad or soup.
Yeah.
And a big loaf of bread at the beginning. I assume. It's been so long since I've been to Claim Jumper. I'm just guessing they're one of those places that also gives you a loaf of bread when you sit down.
Oh, yeah. There's a loaf of bread. Here's a kiddie pool of clam chowder.
Magic.
Here's the entire Brazilian rainforest, but it's a salad.
All right. Let's talk about the best peanut butter sandwich. So we're going to construct this sandwich. The bulk of this episode, if you will allow me, I think the bulk of this episode is going to be picking the accompaniment or accompaniments to go with the peanut butter. As you mentioned, at the end, then we will figure out our bread, our order, all of that to craft that perfect sandwich. But the big question of this episode, it's peanut butter and blank.
Yeah.
And we need to fill in the blank.
I know we talked about we'll figure out the bread later. Do you want to assume, just for the sake of parody, let's say we got like Wonder Bread.
IT or OD?
Parity.
Okay.
A parody.
For the sake of parody, it wouldn't be Wonder Bread. It would be Confusion Bread.
Is that like Gilbert and Sullivan? A parody of parody. We come in front of me. Let's assume we have two slices of like Wonder Bread, some generic like white bread. Doesn't have like any particular.
All right. Well, we'll get to the
vessel.
specifics of the bread at the end. But yeah, I'm going to say, like, for right now, we don't want to pick an accompaniment that only works on a certain type of bread.
Right. Yeah. Like we can, here's what I say. We'll figure out the best sandwich and then we can say, can we plus it by making the bread different?
Okay. But that? I mean, I don't want to, first of all, now you've got me thinking about the bread. I don't want to put it on Wonder Bread because you always have to toast Wonder Bread, first of all. And even then, it's not necessarily strong enough for peanut butter.
Stroman's white bread?
I feel like you got to go with Dave's sprouted grain, like something hearty. For a peanut butter, well, okay. You know what? We're doing this first. Forget it. This is happening first now.
Yeah.
For a peanut butter sandwich, Wonder Bread, if the second you touch a knife to a piece of Wonder Bread, you know what you have done? You have not spread peanut butter on Wonder Bread. You have spread bread on a peanut butter covered knife in little chunks.
Have people not taught you how to put peanut butter on a piece of bread, Mark?
Have you not seen how weak Wonder Bread is? You got to toast it first.
I buy the bread at Trader Joe's that is 70 calories a slice. It is wafer thin.
Yeah.
And yet I can put peanut butter on it in any amount without tearing the bread in the least. You just can't.
Let me ask you this.
You don't go you're not assaulting the bread with the knife.
So what do you do it in? Are you doing it in thin layers?
No, you take it and you spread it. You spread it intentionally.
Look, when I was a kid, we had a famous bakery in Knoxville, Kern's Bakery. And Kern's thing was their version of Wonder Bread. Maybe I'm confusing Kern's and Wonder, but their whole thing was how soft their bread was.
Oh yeah.
And for little kids, it was all about the nose test. Are you familiar with the nose test?
No, tell me.
That is, if you held the bread up to your face and you smushed your nose on it, you could make an imprint of your nose onto your bread. that would remain. That's how soft and malleable this bread was. That is what Wonder Bread feels like to me, which doesn't have nearly the consistency to handle a peanut butter. I will maintain that the perfect bread for this is going to be a bread that can handle a reasonable layer of peanut butter for both the spreading portion of the sandwich and maintains its integrity for the eating portion of the sandwich.
Yeah, I hear you. A standard white bread, and I've had a few different kinds over the past.
I don't think standard white bread is the winner.
I
don't think standard white bread is going to be able to cut it.
I'm telling you, Mark, I have made many peanut butter.
Maybe Texas toast cut.
No, stop it. You don't.
No, I'm not going to stop it. You have to have at least Texas toast cut. The nose test, Hal. Hal, the nose test.
Mark, I'm going to smack you.
Go get a piece of bread right now. You go get a piece of Wonder Bread right now. Do you have Wonder Bread in your house?
I'll go get it right now.
Go get a piece of Wonder Bread right now. Yes.
You want me to show you how I do it?
Yes, I want you to show me how you do it.
I'll eat it right now. I'll do it. I'll be right back.
Go get a piece of Wonder Bread.
I'll do it.
All right. People of the world, while Hal is gone, he's swearing his way out the door. I am telling you. Can you hear me? Can you hear? Is he wearing? He's wearing AirPod for this. So I can't say anything to you because whatever is happening, he can actually hear it. You know what? So I'm going to talk directly to you, Hal Lublin. I'm in your ears right now as you are getting Wonder Bread out of the cabinet in your kitchen. Look at that. Look at that flimsy, floppy piece of white bread. You know what? That 70 calories that are in that slice, you know what those calories aren't doing? Structurally supporting anything, my friend. That kind of bread is the reason that when I was a kid, there was always a peanut butter and jelly sandwich where it had soaked through like a policeman's towel at a crime scene, or like the paper towel in a Bounty commercial when they first put it down on that, whatever that stain is on the counter. And then instead of absorbing into the shape of that stain, it absorbs into the logo of Bounty. You know what I'm talking about? That is what's wrong with that bread. That is how thin that bread is. And he's back.
All right. Mark, I brought props.
Okay, good. Did you hear all of that?
Down. What?
I said, did you hear all of that?
Yes, every single thing.
All right, good.
You wanted me to hear it.
Yeah, I wanted you to hear it. I wanted you to hear.
I'm going to pull out a slice of bread, okay?
Okay.
This is, so you can see, this is Trader Joe's white bread sliced in a blue bag.
Okay. Does it say sliced in a blue bag on it?
It says part of it.
You were just, look at this. How is that? There's a hole in the middle of that one. Oh, wait, okay. Hold on, though. Turn that one toward the light a little bit. No. Give me a little angle on it. Okay. See, that is different. That is dense enough.
Okay.
But you're doing it without toasting it?
No, I'm not toasting it. I just got it out. Here is your peanut butter.
Okay.
Look how big this jar is, by the way.
That is an enormous jar. That next to your head. Yeah.
I have 2 of these. I forgot I had one and bought another like I did with Constantine on DVD. I had like 3 copies of it. I never returned it. I was like, I gotta return it. And then I would go to Best Buy and I go, Constantine looks like I really enjoyed that movie in the theaters. I'm going to get it on. All right. See how much has been used. This has been used. All right. I'm going to get a good amount of peanut butter on the knife.
Okay.
Do you agree that this is a good amount of peanut butter? I'll put it next to my head so you can see.
Next to your head. Yeah. It's
about a tablespoon.
That is more than I would use, but that seems reasonable. I err on the slightly thin side.
Now I'm spreading it.
Okay. I'm watching you spread this.
Of bread.
So your technique is you put the tablespoon of peanut butter in the middle and fan out from that central location.
You can also start at the top or the bottom, and then I'm going to work to get to the margins. We're going to get.
Okay. I see it getting to the margins. I see it. And it's starting to sag in the middle. It's sagging in the middle.
In with the knife blade.
I see you digging in, and I'm watching it sag in the middle from that.
I'm going to hold up the piece of bread for you afterwards, okay? All right, I'm done.
Yeah. It looks flat, but much in a car that's been in an accident. I don't know how much of it is. I don't know how much of it is fender and how much of it is Bondo inside a dent.
Do you see it in any way, shape, or form concave on this side, the side that would have been pushed in? Yes or no?
No, not on that side, but that's
okay. Now here's the side with the peanut butter on it.
Yeah.
Because it would push through. This is a piece of bread. It's not drywall.
That is a lot of peanut butter.
Guess what?
What?
All right, had a bite.
I know. I saw you. Oh, was that guess what for the people of the world? Because they didn't know that I could see you have that bite.
Now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it difficult to talk? Did you put too much peanut butter on that? Is it going to take you a while? Do you need your orange juice?
I have a big thing of water, but I think it's, wait, let's see it. It's got like a sip in it. It's like the canteens in the first two canteens in the Three Amigos. There's no water in there.
Oh, you're now like that dude in the Aaron Burr commercial. Forgot milk.
Aaron Burr. Do you agree that I was able to take a standard piece of white bread, put a generous amount of peanut butter on it, spread it around, not vigorously, but appropriately all over the bread and not damage the bread or tear through it or mush it?
I believe that in this instance, you were able to do that. Yes.
Okay. This is not a magic trick. This is not I just got
peanut butter all over your pop screen.
It spit out on the pop screen. This is not a magic trick. This is something I can do many times. That's why I came to you. I wasn't coming hoping I'd be able to do it. I was coming knowing I'd be able to do it. And the reason why I say white bread is as soon as you get into your grains, you're getting into more flavor profile than you need. So what I want to do for the sake, if I'm doing this in a lab, right, I want the bread to not be part of it. Because really,
Look, I understand the concept of minimizing your variables within the scientific.
Exactly. So let's minimize the bread.
All right.
And
we still reserve the right at the end to whatever we've determined to be the best peanut butter sandwich to plus up the bread at the end.
100%. I'm with that.
All right.
Where do you want to start?
I want to start with the different possible combos that go well with peanut butter. And I would like, did you just, oh my God, you just took a ginormous.
I'm hungry. I'm going to
you also have to,
breakfast.
Hal, if your job is talking into a microphone, did you just, in the middle of recording an episode where you have to talk into a microphone, take a giant bite of peanut butter?
No.
How?
Yeah. I did. I already ate almost half of it, but go ahead. You were saying?
All right. So what I would like to do is I would like to look first at these are after. Oh my gosh, you're still doing it.
I'm almost done. Keep talking. It's your turn to talk. I don't have to talk right now.
Ready, go. I'm all done.
What? So you say you want to, hold on, you want to.
Oh my gosh. Where'd you get another piece of, do not pull another piece of bread out and start putting more peanut butter on it, Hal. Hal.
You don't want to do it. Just keep going. Go ahead.
Hal. Oh my gosh. He has just made an open-faced peanut butter sandwich. That is prison food.
It's fine. I'm not doing anything. Just go ahead.
We can hear you opening the jar.
Oh, what? Oh, I shouldn't have held it next to the microphone.
No, you shouldn't have. Okay, here's what I'd like to do. I would like to go first with the oh my gosh, he's taking more bites.
Look at what I'm doing. You're talking. You're looking at a piece of paper that you look up.
Our job is to talk. Hal, you put that piece of bread away. Hal.
Oh, I'll put it away.
Hal, I'll give you $20 if you can smack that piece of bread against the wall. And he just put the whole bread into his mouth. And he just stuffed the whole thing into his mouth.
What bread, Mark? What sandwich?
Well, since I have no longer any evidence that you were eating a peanut butter sandwich, I guess you can go. But keep it under 55.
Thank you, officer.
All right. I was going to give you $20 if you could take that peanut butter and just full on slap it against the wall from your seat.
You want to pay me $20 to damage my paint in my home?
Peanut butter wouldn't damage your paint.
Oil based.
Peanut butter? Well, peanut butter is. Is your paint oil based?
I think so.
Look at you, a regular Da Vinci over here with oil paintings up on it.
My house is done in pastels.
Wow, look at that. My whole living room, colored pencils, my friend. It's very pale, and it took me 10 years to cover one little section.
And my car is Crayola washables.
That's right. Non-toxic. And now he's licking the spoon. We're never going to get to this episode.
Mark,
we're never going to get to this episode.
You're really getting us off track.
I'm talking into a microphone about the topic. You are licking a knife.
Exactly. This is how I show I'm tough in prison. Hey, sorry, you wanted to come corner me in the library, beat me up and take my cigarettes?
I'm terribly sorry. You can have whichever bunk you prefer, Mr. Lublin.
That's right. And go dry clean my prison clothes, jumper, my romper. Clean my prison romper.
Hang on a second, Hal. I'm beginning to get the sensation that you've never been to prison before.
Not true. I did improv at a prison when I was in college. They all had nicer sneakers than me. You were saying?
Gosh. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the different possible combinations of flavor that go well with peanut butter. I would like to start with, well, I'll ask you, would you like to start with, look, we all know what's on the top of this mountain that's going to need to get knocked off, most likely. Do you want to start with the sweet preparations, or do you want to start with, Ken just said, go to break after this. I literally just started the topic.
As soon as he said, hey, here's a setup for a 20-minute segment. Oh, go to break.
Yeah,
Great.
go to break right now. No, we'll go to break after this segment, or we'll go to break right now.
Max Fun Drive 2024.
Max Fun Drive? What about it?
It'll be the best time for someone to support the podcasts they love.
Oh yeah, drive exclusive gifts, special events, and of course all the amazing bonus content.
Yeah.
So, what's on your mind? Check.
Well, it starts March 18th, and it's only 2 weeks long.
And? Check.
Well, what if they miss it?
Well, they should follow Max Fun on social media or sign up for the newsletter at MaximumFun.org/newsletter so they don't miss it. Otherwise, checkmate.
Who guests on Jordan Jesse Go?
I mean, we could just list Patton Oswalt, Kumail Nanjiani, Maria Bamford, whatever.
We couldn't remember all of them.
So we asked my kids.
Famous people?
How famous?
I don't know, pretty famous.
Really tiny celebrities who would go on this train wreck instead of like a big talk show.
There's just a bunch of people on your show.
Jordan Jesse Go, a comedy show for grown-ups.
Okay, now we can do the topic.
Great, finally.
Okay. Do you want to go with the savory preparations followed by the sweet, knowing where our finalist is likely going to come from? Or do you want to start with the sweet and then go to the savory?
I feel like the sandwich that people think of when they think of peanut butter is a sweet sandwich. So let's start with savory.
All right. So I'm going to give you some classic savory sandwich combos for a peanut butter sandwich. And
do you want me to
can
gut react to these as like a list, or are we going to talk about each one for a little while?
Which would you rather do?
Which would you rather do?
I'd like to talk about them, but I will let you gut react to just the first one. Rant as long as you like, gut react to the first one, and then I'll give you the rest of them.
Yeah, well, you know what? You can tell me the thing.
Well, because there's one specific one.
The gut reaction is going to be quick, and then we can talk about it briefly and then move on to the next one. How about that?
Okay, that's great. So yeah, I'll give you the thing. You give me gut reaction, and then we'll talk about it.
You know, the recycling truck is outside of the window of my office, and I'm pretty sure it's turning into Optimus Prime right now from the noise it's making.
That's funny.
Did you hear that?
I think that the Blues Brothers must have just driven by because I've heard 5 cop cars in a row go through mine. I wonder if Optimus Prime and those cops are going to show up at the same spot.
I'm expecting him to knock on my window and go,
"How lovely. I just ate all your cardboard boxes."
Go ahead. What's the first sandwich?
Mayonnaise.
No. But that is a sandwich half and another sandwich half that's waiting for like turkey and lettuce and tomato. Who did that? Where did you find this? Where the dark web are you getting these lists, Mark?
This is why I was said for the first one, just feel free to rant as long as you want.
I'm done. I had a question. That's all.
I'll tell you where I got it. Multiple sources across the internet were where I found this one. Peanut butter and mayonnaise is a combination that began in the South during the Great Depression. So it was a time when people didn't have a ton of money, obviously, where you needed to make your calories count. So you wanted to pack a caloric wallop. And nothing packs a caloric wallop like mayonnaise mixed with peanut butter.
Well, they're all cheap.
Yeah, exactly. It's a cheap sandwich. You just stir them up. So it's not like a layer of each. It is as one thing. It is peanut butter and mayo mixed together. specifically a Southern thing, a Great Depression thing, but one source that I read also chalked it up to the possibility that every Southern sandwich begins with grab a jar of mayo out of the fridge. So even a peanut butter and jelly sandwich begins with grab a jar of mayo out of the fridge.
But this is mixing it. This is
mixing it. This is swirling it together, sometimes with the addition of cheese, which is the second of the savory preparations that I've seen, which is a peanut butter and cheese sandwich.
Mark, can I ask you?
Yeah.
Just how many different sandwiches are in the savory category? Just a number?
Hold on. 5.
Okay, there are 5. What percentage of them were developed during the Great Depression? So far, we're at 40%.
I think just these 2, actually.
Okay, because mayonnaise in the peanut butter jar feels like water in the Robitussin. Like
you're making it last longer. Yeah.
Yes.
Because apparently the flavor of the mayo gets really, really washed out by the flavor of the peanut butter.
Of course. I'm sure it makes it a little bit more oily. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah. It extends the life of your peanut butter. And if you are in a severe economic situation where what you have in your home is peanut butter, which is the main thing you use to make sandwiches because it's cheap. The number of, as a fan of professional wrestling, Mark, most wrestlers when they start out have no money and they are getting paid very little to do what they do. So they're doing odd jobs on the side, but they're also the number of wrestlers who are like, I was eating peanut butter sandwiches. That's what they ate. So if the peanut butter starts to run out, if you have mayonnaise, you get to extend the peanut butter. I completely get that. I don't think it makes it the best sandwich. It makes it a very economical way to extend the life of your peanut butter jar.
But that's not what the question was. The question was, what's the best peanut butter sandwich? And it ain't going to be PB and mayo. But let's talk about peanut butter and cheese. I've honestly never had peanut butter and cheese.
Mark, how did my voice sound as I was eating a piece of bread with peanut butter on it?
Like you had a mouthful of peanut butter.
Now add cheese to that.
You know what you would need? You would need some red wine because the drying factor, as we determined in our beer versus wine episode, would help that out.
Sure.
Yeah, cheese. They don't feel like, they just doesn't feel like they go together for me.
No, that also feels like what's in the kitchen. I need to make a meal. This is what I have. And again, there's not, as we talked about there's a ton of food insecurity in this country and in the world at large. So this is not knocking this if it is something that you have to do. But if you have the choice, I don't think this is the best version of a sandwich. It depends. If you're doing a more mild cheese, it might kind of get swallowed up. I can see how the flavors would work together. They're in the same sort of family.
There's a little umami to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Same flavor family. If you did like a Borzen, like a creamy herb cheese and spread that would spread horribly. That you would tear up almost any piece of bread.
Yeah.
Because it's not made to spread.
I guess I was thinking like when I think of cheese, I think just like a block of cheddar cheese is what like my brain goes with, like default cheese.
The wheel of cheese in the White House.
Exactly. The wheel of cheese. So that's what my brain goes to. And it just they don't seem to go well together, as nearly as well together as our next combination. And this one could make its way through to whatever sort of finals we have in this. And that is bacon. I do love a peanut butter and bacon sandwich. What are your thoughts?
I think it's fine. I think bacon as a sandwich ingredient is okay. I think bacon itself is okay. I feel like almost every time I have bacon, I have an anticipation of what it's going to be. And obviously internet culture had its time with bacon, where you bacon wallets, bacon everything, everything bacon all the time.
Sure.
We're kind of beyond that. We've moved past that phase of our lives. Bacon has maybe a more appropriate place in cuisine and culture in general. I think it is an overrated food. I see how, again, the saltiness works well. You have salty plus creamy or even crunchy, even if you like texture. I think we've established we like the creamier, smooth peanut butter. That's the best kind. So that's always what I operate with. I have 2 giant jars of creamy peanut butter in my home, but either kind.
Well, we can also determine that at the end, whether for the particular sandwich we're making, a chunky peanut butter is better for this sandwich, but a baseline smooth.
Either peanut butter, I get how the flavors work together.
Yeah.
If we had to pick one from savory and one from sweet to go up against the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which obviously is the Goliath of this, I think it is a contender. I get how the flavors would work together. It's not something I would reach for because I like to balance out is it umami? Would you say peanut butter has an umami to it?
I think there's like an unctuousness to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A heartiness to it.
I look for something to balance that out rather than provide a different stark contrast. And I think when
Right.
you add the saltiness of bacon, that is more of a stark contrast than a compliment. Doesn't mean it can't work.
Mm-hmm.
If I've had one, it was a very long time ago. It's not anything I would reach for, but I definitely, now that I have peanut butter actually like in my mouth, that I've had it, I can sort of imagine, despite my beige food proclivities, I have a pretty smart palate in terms of like determining different flavors and ingredients and things. So I can imagine, I can just picture from this sensation what it would be like to add bacon to it. And it would be really interesting and really good. I think especially if your bacon is a little warm, not so hot that it.
Well, then it
melts
does the same thing that a pork sandwich does, that it melts it just a little bit. So it kind of coats the bacon.
Yeah.
I like that the peanut butter will also keep, if it's crispy bacon, will keep the bacon intact. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It won't fall out of a sandwich. I like that. I don't dislike a peanut butter and bacon sandwich. I do like it though. I think it needs a sweet element as well.
Like
I don't like
honey.
little honey or a banana.
syrup.
I don't like just a peanut butter and bacon sandwich.
What if it was maple syrup? What if you took bacon, you candied it? You did a candied bacon and peanut butter.
Candied
sandwich.
bacon
That
and
you would
peanut
like.
butter would be amazing. That sounds
Okay,
great.
there you go. See? Beige.
So candied bacon wins?
Well, no. what
Actually,
else is
no.
there?
That's right. We have a few more.
Is it a sloppy Joe with peanut butter in it?
No, I don't have a sloppy Joe with peanut butter in it on this
All right.
list. But I did find one more. They're now 6. They're not 5 because I'd totally forgotten one that my brother used to eat as a kid. And I looked up and it is a classic developed in the 1930s during the Great Depression and became quite popular, a quite controversial savory preparation to go along with peanut butter. Can you guess where I'm going with this?
I really can't.
Really?
Yeah.
Peanut butter and pickle.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no.
No.
Uh-uh.
What?
I get it.
We
Again,
can't just
I get
be.
it.
No.
I feel like any of these, I would try them and be like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I think the bacon probably, because of the flavor that a slice of bacon has, would be a little bit more appealing. I don't like just any pickle. I like very specific type of pickles. I like the garlicky dill pickle. I don't like the sweet or kosher dill. Jennifer loves a kosher dill pickle.
I love
We
a
always have
kosher dill,
pickles
yeah.
in the house. I don't, even the smell of them I don't like. Just, I like a more garlicky dill. The Clausen
Yeah.
Classic. Give me that stuff all day long.
That's fair. I like that. I mean, I do like, it's not bad. You know what I mean? It's got that little sweet, it's got that little sort of vinegary, tart saltiness to it that goes well with the peanut butter. But yeah, I don't think that one's going to win. The last two in this category are really, I think, not necessarily fair, but I wanted to throw them out there because I want to try them and they sound great. So I want to be on the record mentioning them. Just in my search, I found a couple of them. One is the pulled pork. I saw a few different versions of the pulled pork sandwich with peanut butter on it, some with coleslaw, some with jalapenos, assorted other toppings. But in that case, it really isn't a peanut butter sandwich. It's like when you put peanut butter on a burger, which is really good. Like a thin layer of peanut butter on a burger is good, but it's not a peanut butter sandwich. Nobody's going to call that a peanut butter and beef sandwich.
No,
they're going to call it a hamburger.
That is the equivalent of like, look what we did.
Yeah.
Look what we did to a pulled pork sandwich that makes it different.
Yeah, but it is actually good. It's not just the
I'm sure.
gimmick, I don't think.
I'm sure it is good to some people. Everything's good to someone.
Well, sure. Yeah, look, we don't want to yuck your yum, but we're obviously also here to specifically to yuck your yum.
We're here to tell you what your yum is.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Oh, see, that's so much more, such a kinder way of putting it. The other one, just because I wanted to try it, sounded really good, which is a chicken sandwich with peanut butter, some chilies, and basil, like a Thai peanut sandwich.
That's very Thai. Yeah.
Right? Doesn't that sound good? I saw that one in my looking through and I was like, oh, that actually sounds delicious.
I like but don't love Thai food of all of all the different types of Asian cuisine. I know I'm not like, I like a pad Thai, I like a tom yum soup. Like there's some of it that I do enjoy.
Yeah.
It has to be without cilantro, obviously, for me.
This would definitely
a little
have
baby.
a little, yeah.
But I'm not a huge, I don't like that peanut, that's like satay type chick. It doesn't.
No, that's sort of like
really-
soy sauce and peanut butter kind of combo.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. I like it okay. I don't, I wouldn't make a sandwich of it personally, but I get where it would be, especially if you like bread it. I think you'd need to sort of bread it to really maintain the integrity of the sandwich.
Yeah.
And then use your satay type sauce as a spread, as like a thin spread on both pieces.
You could also shred it. I think you could do shredded chicken that way.
Yeah, you could.
It would need to be like a full breaded breast, like a shredded chicken breast. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All right. So that's all of the savory preparations. Do we want to take anything into the finals with us? Candied bacon does sound delicious.
Let's do it.
Let's take candied bacon in with us into uncharted waters. You know what? It's Little Mac right now from Mike Tyson's Punch Out. So we'll see how far Little Mac can go against the juggernauts that are coming up. This is where it's going to get exciting.
Can I guess? How many do you have there? Let me see.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Too many. All right. I'm going to guess. Let me see how many of these I can guess.
Okay.
While we have an earthquake. Oh, huge earthquake.
Are you actually having an earthquake?
Yeah.
Oh, we are.
Everything's shaking.
We're having an earthquake right now, people.
Hold on. Let it finish shaking.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, it made it over here.
I wonder if that was closer.
Did anything fall over?
Nothing fell over.
Hey.
Wow. People of the world, we just had an earthquake during an episode of We Got This.
Violent
and before
earthquake.
checking to see if I or Ken were okay, he turned around to look at his Kenners to make sure.
I waited till it was over.
It'll get to you soon.
You think Ken felt it in North Carolina?
That was weird. Did you immediately go to Twitter and type earthquake?
I went to QuakeBot, yeah. I'm just looking to see. There was a 4.7 earthquake 7 miles from Thousand Oaks.
Hey, speaking of moving and shaking, we're going to be moving and shaking with a Max Fun Drive coming up real soon, beginning on March 18th, and we will give more details as that approaches.
Okay. All right, let me guess. See if I can guess these sandwiches now that the earth has stopped shaking me around like I'm a snow globe. All right. Nutella.
Correct. That's 1.
Okay. Marshmallow fluff.
That is 2.
Bananas.
That is 3.
Honey.
That is 4.
There are more apples?
That is 5.
Really?
Yep.
Raisins.
That is 6.
No way! Wait,
Yep.
How many more do I have to guess?
2 more. You got 2 more. You almost got the last 2. You got them coming.
Oh, I can't believe how many I got. Pear?
Incorrect.
Ugh.
Pear's not on the list.
Oh, wait. Would you?
What other classic combination goes with peanut butter?
Jelly?
Well, you didn't even mention that one yet.
Because jelly's aside. Jelly I'm counting outside of this.
Yeah.
So there's 1 more.
There's 2 more.
There's 2 more. What classic? What goes? Oh, well, I said chocolate. I said Nutella.
You didn't say chocolate. You said Nutella.
Okay,
that is
chocolate.
hazelnut spread. Chocolate is
Okay.
also on the list.
Chocolate. All right. It's also on the list.
And the last one is
jelly beans.
So you were close with, think along the lines of bananas, pears, apples.
And, bananas, pears, apples, orange? No, not oranges. That would be terrible.
No.
Mango?
Berries.
Berries.
Fresh berries, either macerated, sliced, or
If
dropped
you're
on.
going to macerate berries.
You just have
Aren't
jam.
you basically making room temperature jelly?
Yeah.
Or / jam?
All right. So let's talk about these. Yes, you got all of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So proud of myself.
Let's talk about the Elvis. First of all,
that's peanut butter, bananas, honey, and bacon.
Not always with the bacon. I heard a different version of it.
Okay.
And this was the version, maybe this was the version he was eating at the time.
On the toilet, yes.
No. This was, and I love when I get to say this because it's one of those fun little family things about my mom growing up in Memphis. My mom knew Elvis. For those who don't know, I've mentioned it before on this show. This is the recipe as given to my mom by Elvis.
Okay.
This was as told to my mom. So this was the version of this sandwich that was taught to me as a kid secondhand. So Elvis taught my mom taught me.
But read it as if you're Elvis giving. So I'm going to be your mother. Hi, I'm going to be Mark's mother one day.
Hey, Suzanne, oh, really? Well, let's get back to you being able to read the future in a minute. First, I want to tell you how I make a sandwich. Here's what I want you to do. All right. I want you to take a couple of slices of bread, any kind of bread you want. White Wonder bread will work real well. Apparently it can hold up to peanut butter being spread on it. I didn't know that until about 45 minutes ago.
That's right, King.
You take that and you spread butter on one side of it. Right?
Really?
One side of each slice. Spread butter on one side of each slice. Flip that over, right? Because you're going to make it like grilled cheese style. That's how you're going to do it. That's what the butter's for.
Okay.
You can make it like a grilled cheese sandwich, all right? But you flip them back over. Here's what you put in the middle. You get yourself a bowl. You put some peanut butter in the bowl. You just, get some banana. Put some banana in the bowl and some honey in the bowl. And you mash all of that up together. You don't mesh it up too much so that it's thin, but you got some big chunks of banana in there. You got some big chunks of peanut butter in there. All right. You going with me? You with me still now?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Then you get that peanut butter, honey, and banana combo, that goop. You mix it. You take that. Set that aside. You get one of them pieces of bread right down there on the flat top griddle. All right. Put that bread on the griddle like you're going to make a grilled cheese sandwich, but instead of putting 2 slices of Velveeta in the middle, you take a big old scoop of that peanut butter and you put that in the middle, smush it down on top with another slice of bread, flip it over, you make yourself like a grilled cheese sandwich, but in the middle, you got peanut butter, banana, and honey. And Hal, I'm going to tell you that is a pretty perfect sandwich.
Can I talk to Elvis again for a second?
Yeah, what is it?
Elvis, when's the last time you made a duty?
1977, August 16th, but I only got halfway through. And I don't like to talk about that day.
I didn't realize I was talking to your ghost.
Yeah, man. Who'd you think you were talking to?
Austin Butler.
You think there were podcasts back when I was inventing this sandwich? Austin Butler, that little Disney Channel kid.
Yeah, he played you in a movie. He got nominated for an Oscar.
Get out of here. I heard he won.
Nope.
He didn't win? Who won?
I don't remember. Someone else.
Austin Butler. That's that kid who is in that new Flyboy show on Apple TV where in the poster he looks like a white Obama.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong. Have you seen that poster?
I've seen an episode of the show.
Austin Butler looks like white Obama in that poster.
That's his next project. Every time I see him in it, I'm like, oh, he's about to do the Elvis voice. He's going to do the Elvis voice right now. Come on, do the Elvis.
All he does is the Elvis voice, doesn't he? Isn't he still just Elvis now?
Yeah, even in Dune 2, he's playing Elvis. Hey, what happened to all my hair? Used to be
come here, Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah. Hey, Chalamet, come over here. I used to have a big head of hair and eyebrows. And now all that's gone. Well, sandworms are coming. All right.
All right. What else? So
that is a pretty good sandwich.
I would argue that combination for me, I love. So we've got all of these. Let's go through these a little bit and talk about them. Nutella. My problem with Nutella is this. Its texture is almost identical to peanut butter. I want something a little different. Give me a little bit of difference, you know?
Okay.
Fresh berries.
If you're going to do that,
just use jam.
Make a jam. Yeah. Cook it up in a skillet. Put it in a saucepan with a little sugar.
What about just peanut butter and honey?
I like honey. I don't love honey that much. I feel like that's a little too, that's almost like, honey's almost too sweet. Because when you get a berry, like, I get that most jellies and jams tend to be pretty sweet, got plenty of sugar in them. There's something about honey that's just like, oh, this is way too sweet. You use a little bit in tea. Use a little bit to sweeten something.
Honey is a thing that honey would be the extra cherry on top in whatever the sandwich is. Yeah.
Drizzle.
A little like in that peanut butter, honey, and banana sandwich that Elvis taught my mom.
Correct.
Yeah. Banana.
It's okay. I get why they're together. There was a kid in my class. John Harris was his name. He's now a professional stage manager. Got really into stagecraft in high school. He would have a peanut butter and banana sandwich, I think, every single day. He would have, that was what he had for lunch. And I was like, okay. I feel like once in a while it'd be all right, but I don't want it that. I would rather, I guess I look at a sandwich. There are a lot of sandwiches like this where I look like chocolate's maybe a little different because it feels exotic. But if I see a peanut butter and banana sandwich, I go like, oh, add a jelly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. Though I think for me, it's the Elvis sandwich. I like, if I'm going to have a peanut butter and banana sandwich, I want to have the honey on it as well. Yeah. Because it feels like it's missing a little something. And maybe that's just because that's what I grew up with. So it would take both the banana and the honey. I would take that into the finals.
Okay.
Is the banana and honey version, right?
Banana and honey.
So banana and honey. I'd take that into the finals. What about the Fluffernutter sandwich?
Great idea.
Have you never had one? It sounds like you only know it in concept.
I have. Great idea. It's not something it just feels like the Pixie Sticks of sandwiches.
Yeah. It's so sweet.
Like the kid.
It's so sweet and it's nothing but sweet.
The kid who shows up at lunchtime and whips that out of the brown paper bag does not have a bedtime. You know?
Yeah. 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 That 100%. It's very good. But yeah, it's like stoner food.
Yes.
Raisins. Get out of here with just raisins. Raisins is another one that's an accessory if you have something else. Apples and raisins. Great combo with peanut butter. But if I'm doing apples and peanut butter, I'm making apple smiles and using marshmallows out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put little apple wedges, peanut butter, and the marshmallows on top.
I'll dip apples in peanut butter, but I don't want bread involved.
Yeah, there's
Get the bread out of there. It's too much.
I think that's the thing. The bread's in the way. The bread is the third wheel in that.
If the bread's in the way instead of being integral to the sandwich, then get it out of here. Same with Nutella. I don't want Nutella on a piece of bread.
No, I want it on a piece of toast. I'd have Nutella on toast.
That's fine. I want it on a scoop of on a scoop of ice cream.
I feel like the kid that brings the peanut butter and chocolate sandwich to school is the bad influence on the Fluffernutter kid.
Yeah.
Like the Fluffernutter kid's parents, he doesn't have a bedtime, but his parents are like, you're not allowed to hang out with Dustin.
Oh yeah, what's because Dustin just has his own apartment. Dustin
and a pet
emancipated
iguana
himself at 6. Yeah. And a pet iguana.
Well, that leaves really only one. So we're looking at now, and this is where we got to get a little bit into the weeds, but I think it's an important distinction. Jelly, jam, or preserves. And it really is just, a lot of it is just the amount of processing.
I like a jelly.
I see. This is where we're going to differ.
And this
hard.
is the reason why. I'll tell you why.
Hate jelly.
I understand. I'll tell you why I think jelly. And I have no problem with jam or preserve. I'll really will go with any of them. The reason why I prefer jelly is because I want something that has not the same texture. I want a smooth sandwich because I like creamy peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really need chunkiness anywhere else. So I want the flavor. It's got the sweetness to it. It's in terms of texture. It doesn't overwhelm the bite. It just all works together really, really well. Because if I'm having jelly, I'm probably going to have grape jelly. If I'm having a jam or preserves, I'm probably doing strawberry. Because I do like that. On the other hand, for those, I like a little bit of texture there. I have no problem with that. But I just, by and large, I grew up with jelly. That's probably why I have it. I have a jar of Welch's grape jelly in my fridge at all times so I can make a sandwich with it.
I feel I was harsh in saying I hate jelly earlier. I don't like it though. It feels to me like I'm putting Jell-O on a sandwich.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? Like that sort of, so, well, why don't we can meet in the middle on this one because I think there are a lot of people who think like you and there are a lot of people who think like me. I'm more of a strawberry preserves guy is my personal favorite because I like that there are big chunks of strawberry within it. And I like having a bite that's a little different every once in a while. I like a little bit of variety. I don't need it to be entirely uniform, but I understand what you're saying. I think that it's perhaps jam is the best middle of the road, best of both worlds version of that. Specifically, and I think I'm with you on grape jam because when I eat strawberries and strawberry preserves, I can taste the similarities. I taste absolutely no similarity between Concord grape jam and table grapes. They might as well be two completely different foods.
You like that?
I like that. And I like Concord grape jam and I only ever do it on a peanut butter sandwich. So it feels like an ingredient that only exists for one reason. And that is to be delicious on a peanut butter sandwich.
Love that.
So if we're looking at a peanut butter and Concord grape jam, peanut butter and candied bacon, or the Elvis, which is a grilled cheese style peanut butter, banana, and honey sandwich. You know, considering all other details as well.
You want to get rid of the bacon sandwich? Because we know it's not going to win against either of the other two.
Yeah, we can get rid of the bacon sandwich. I look at the other two and I go, one of them is a full preparation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So how about this? So we've got a prepared sandwich versus just two ingredients right now.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I pitch we do. I pitch we put together the perfect peanut butter and Concord grape jam sandwich. And then we pit that against the Elvis sandwich. I think we can make this sandwich relatively quickly. We've each made 1 million peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in our lifetimes. First of all, white bread, we already determined. Is there a way to improve upon white bread when it's creamy peanut butter and Concord grape jam?
No, I actually like the way they all work together. I'm fine with it like a grainy wheat bread too, but I would prefer a white bread.
Yeah.
Let the fillings be the star.
I think in this particular case, that was the question.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we toast it or do we not toast it?
I don't toast it personally.
No, I do usually. Do you like a light toast? Do you want to meet at a light
We're gonna
toast?
toast. I would do a light toast, a little browning.
Little, just to get a little bit of a little bit of that
Maillard effect.
TikTok food talk knife scrape sound, just a little bit of it. And then here's my final question. How do we order the peanut butter and jam on this particular sandwich? Because in the original version of this sandwich, in May of 1896, peanut butter was invented. Good Housekeeping encouraged people to take peanut butter through a meat or modern version of it, I guess, was popularized, not invented. May of 1896, Good Housekeeping convinced people to start grinding peanuts in a meat grinder to create their own peanut butter. And then the first mention of the sandwich was in Boston in 1901. And the version that they have in this sandwich, I kind of love. It's very thin, 3 slices of bread. So it goes thin slice of bread, peanut butter, thin slice of bread, jam, thin slice of bread. I'm thinking like those wheat thin, not wheat thins, the crackers, but those.
I don't need a double quarter pounder with cheese.
You don't need a double? Is that too much bread?
Well, it's too much bread, and it implies that you cannot have the peanut butter and jelly touch one another. And that I don't like. What I would do, and what I would say is if you're concerned about long-term, like the jelly kind of soaking through the bread, which obviously this multi-level sandwich doesn't solve, is you do a very thin layer of peanut butter on the other side as sort of insulation. On the jelly side, you do the lion's share of peanut butter on one side, a very thin layer of peanut butter, and then the jam
That's interesting.
On the other side. But I think it's like...
We always did a medium,
simplicity.
roughly the same amount of layer of peanut butter on both. But yeah, I always did peanut butter on both sides. And yeah, I think the simplicity of it, starting in the 1920s, it was really pitched as a sandwich that could be made by kids.
Yeah.
And the beauty of the peanut butter and jelly sandwich is that, or peanut butter and jam sandwich in this particular instance, is that it can be made by kids. We have been making them since we were kids. And I would argue that that particular element of it, the fact that it is able to be made by kids without using any heat source, might nudge the classic PB&J over what I believe is one of my all-time favorite, most delicious sandwiches, the Elvis peanut butter banana sandwich. But I think the fact that you don't have to use heat, I don't even know if we need to pit them against each other.
Yeah. To me, honestly, the Elvis sandwich is almost different because peanut butter is one of the ingredients. It's not really a peanut butter sandwich. It's you make this mash, which sounds delightful, and then you make a fried sandwich out of it.
Yeah.
As opposed to the peanut butter is being accompanied by something. It's sliced peanut butter. It's peanut butter with a little honey. This is you mash it all together to make a slurry. Make your sandwich slurry that goes in between the pieces of bread and then that gets fried. That to me is not a peanut butter sandwich. Even though peanut butter is chief in it, I feel like it's almost like if we're going to do that, we might as well include mixing it in with pulled pork, Yeah.
And then deep fry the whole thing.
And deep fry the whole thing.
Yeah.
Monte Cristo style.
It's Monte Cristo, man.
That's right. So do we have our answer?
I think we have our answer. And I think it's the answer we always knew it was going to be.
Yeah. People of the world, sometimes it's not the destination, it's the journey. And you had a great one here today. I had a piece of bread with peanut butter on it, give me energy the rest of the day. The earth is shook around, but everybody's fine here. We're all good. None of my stuff fell over. None of Mark fell over. Ken's too far away. Oh, good Lord, if there was an earthquake where he was, it would look like an episode of Hoarders in that house because everything would fall over. We don't ever want that. Keep Ken safe from earthquakes. Don't turn your mic on, Ken. This isn't an invitation.
KKSFE.
The best sandwich. People of the world, the best sandwich is just a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Asked and answered. Simple answer presented simply to you.
That's right. The best oh man, now I want one so bad.
I had half.
You know what?
Maybe
I'm going to go make one here. I'm going to go make one right now. This topic is closed, but there are many more topics to discuss. So please reach out to us via email at wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com or
go to our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/wegotThisPodcast. Share your favorite peanut butter and jelly or peanut butter sandwich in general. We'll see you there. We are also now on Instagram at We Got This Show, and we are on TikTok at We Got This Podcast. So please join us there. All sorts of fun video content, and we're looking for new ways to bring the show to you so you can bring it to everybody else. Thank you to producer Ken Plume. Support him at patreon.com/Ken Plume, and also support us to support him, MaximumFun.org/join. Thank you to researcher Kate McManus, graphic designer Uri Kilman, and QA engineer Jen Alba.
And thanks, of course, to our musicians, Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman, for our score and theme song, respectively. And thanks to you, the people of the world, for giving us an opportunity to share an earthquake on this show for the first time. Wow, that is wild.
Ooh.
And you know what? We share a lot of stuff on this show, and it is because of you, and it is for you, and it is with you, and we thank you for that. To you, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin, and don't worry, everybody.
We got this.
We got this.
Maximum Fun,
A worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows
supported
directly
by you.